loves, welcome back to my channel and welcome if you are new. My name is Tyla and today I'm going to be giving you guys the key signs that you are in a karmic relationship. I really wanted to share these signs with you guys and give you some tips because if I were to know these back then, it would have saved me so much time from spending in relationships that just weren't serving my highest good. Now, being in a karmic relationship is not necessarily a bad thing because we need karmic relationships to learn and evolve as a person. These relationships usually teach you the most about yourself and just about life and relationships in general. So it's not necessarily bad, but these relationships do become very toxic and aren't really meant to be long-term connections. So let's get into the signs. So the first sign that you're in a karmic relationship is that you will have a lot of repeating cycles and just cycles of unresolved conflict in the relationship. You may notice that you and your partner may be good for a period of time and then out of nowhere you guys start going through the same issues and it's just a repetitive thing. You guys don't ever overcome these problems and these conflicts. It just seems like you're kind of just going in a circle or like a cycle. That is a number one sign that you're in a karmic relationship. And it's just going to seem like no matter what you try to do to fix the relationship, you can't break that cycle. And even when you thought that you've broken the cycle and you guys are back on a good term, somehow the same situation, the same problem, the same circumstance comes back around and then you're finding yourself back at the same place that you were in. Now, another major sign that you're in a karmic relationship is that relationship brings out the worst in you. Of course, there's going to be times when you may get out of character or you may display certain unhealthy characteristics. But overall, if the relationship is bringing you nothing but negativity and causing you to always be somebody that you're not, causing you to always have to step out of character, and you just feel that no matter what you do, the relationship is just not making you feel like you're the best version of yourself, it's not helping you to evolve and grow, that's a major sign that you're in a karmic relationship. When you're in a healthy relationship and you're in a relationship with somebody that you're meant to be in a connection with and you guys are both aligned, that person will bring out the best in you. That person will challenge you to be a better you. That person will help you to grow and you won't feel like you're constantly at odds with the person that you're with. Now, the third one is that there's some form of codependency within the relationship, whether it's on your end or on their end. So codependency can look like you being needy with your partner or your partner being very needy with you. Or there can be one person in the relationship that's constantly the runner and then you also have the person in the relationship that's constantly chasing. In a healthy relationship, both partners are supposed to have their own freedom. They're supposed to have their own hobbies, their own interests, and not be solely dependent on their partner. Now, the fourth sign is that your morals and your values are constantly going to be tested. With all of the conflict that comes with this type of relationship, there's going to be a lot of times when you're put in predicaments to where you're going to have to stand up for yourself and the things that you believe in. If your partner is doing something and you feel that that is not right what they're doing, but they constantly do it and try to make it okay that they're doing that, and you're always having to explain to them why you don't like it, but then you find yourself just submitting to whatever it is that they're doing and you just accept it, that is a very toxic cycle to be in, and that's also a form of abuse. So you want to make sure that you are not staying in a connection like that. If you're in a connection with somebody and they do not respect your boundaries, your morals, or your values, that is a karmic relationship and you do not want to stay in a relationship like that long term. The next sign is that that relationship will really drain you of your energy and power. If you notice that every time that you are around that person, you're always sleepy or you're always yawning or you just feel very low in energy, you feel like your light has been stripped from you, that is a major sign that you're in a karmic relationship. And not only that, but you may be in a karmic relationship with somebody that may be an energy vampire. I did a video on energy vampires in a previous one, so I will link that at the end of this video. But an energy vampire is just basically a person that feeds off of your energy. So a lot of times what they'll do is, these are the type of people that do not work on themselves. They don't really have the energy within themselves. They look for other people to supply their needs, their validation, and that energy source. So they'll use you in a relationship to feel needed, to feel good, to kind of get a power up within the relationship, and they'll leave you feeling very drained. So if you notice that every time you're around this person, you guys are always arguing, or you're always fighting, or they're always nagging about something, or they're always telling you about something that you're not doing right, or it just seems like you guys can just never be happy and be at peace. The vibes are just never right and the vibes are always off. That is a major sign. Being in a healthy relationship means that you and your partner are being reciprocal. You're giving a equal give and take, and you're going to feel balanced. You won't feel like your energy is thrown off whenever you hang out with them or you spend time with them. And especially being in a relationship and having sex with that person, that is a major thing that you have to be careful for, because if that person is draining you of your energy and you guys do partake in that, you are going to be left feeling depleted, and that is a big thing that can block not only blessings for you and things that you're trying to achieve and accomplish within your life, but it can just make your life very stagnant. So you want to be very careful about who you give your energy to and who you're in a relationship with. That's another reason too why you may see certain people in a relationship and they're not doing the best. They don't have that much money. They're always looking, not their best. But then when they get out of that relationship, it just seems like all of a sudden things just go right for them. They're getting opportunities. They're doing better, looking better. That's a major sign that the person that they were in a relationship with, or the person that you may have been in a relationship with, was an energy vampire and they were draining you of your energy. Now, another major sign is that this relationship will feel like you cannot let go of it. It will feel so addicting, and for some reason, it just seems like you cannot let go of that person. That is a major sign that it's a karmic relationship. These relationships, honestly, are very passionate. They are very strong and they're very powerful, but that is for a reason. And when you come into a connection with somebody that is supposed to be your karmic partner, this is supposed to be the person that is going to teach you the most about yourself. These are the relationships that really help you to evolve into who you're meant to be. So a lot of the times it's going to be a very strong connection. And the dangerous part is that most people get that strong connection mixed up with it being fate or with it being something that's meant to be. But then you see all of these other negative traits that happen, and then you're like, I don't understand. Like, I feel like this is right. I feel like this is who I'm meant to be with. But for some reason, we're always fighting. We're always arguing. Things never go right for us. The energy is always bad. And it just seems like a constant cycle, and I'm just drained and I'm just tired. So you want to be careful about staying in a connection like this, because no matter how strong the bond may seem and the energy and the connection that you guys may have, sometimes it's just not meant to be long term. It just was meant to serve a specific purpose. And that is very hard to even fathom, especially when you're in a relationship with somebody that you truly care about and that you truly do love. It's very hard to let go of that person, especially if you guys were in it for years. It's very hard. And a lot of the time too, when you're in a connection like this and it's a karmic connection, you guys end up getting trauma bonded because you guys go through a lot of things and you guys have similar interests, and then you kind of speak about the things that you went through in your childhood, and a lot of those childhood wounds come up within that relationship. So it's just a lot of bonding, but through trauma and through negative circumstances. And those relationships are the hardest to leave as well. That's just like when it comes to abuse and things like that, because once you get trauma bonded to a specific person, it's very hard to let go because you feel almost like that person is a part of you. The longer that you stay in these types of connections, the more damage that it does. So you may feel like it's painful to let go of that relationship in the moment, but the longer that you stay in it, the more pain that you're causing to yourself. So the last sign that I'm going to give you guys that you're in a karmic relationship is that the relationship can be very emotional. You may notice that it brings about a lot of emotions. It can bring about a lot of sadness. It can bring about a lot of anger and frustration. It can bring about a lot of happiness as well. These types of relationships usually consist of high highs and very low lows. So when everything is good, it's great. You guys are having a great time. You guys are bonding. You guys get along. You guys are similar, and you have a really great time and the energy's good. But then it comes with those really low lows where you guys are fighting constantly, you guys are disrespecting each other, you guys are having conflicts that you just can't seem to overcome. It seems like no matter what you do, you can't get on the same page, or you're constantly butting heads. You seem like you're not really aligned and like you don't understand each other. It's just an emotional roller coaster. Now, every relationship has its issues, so don't get it confused for you just going through certain things with your partner and then all of a sudden you're like, okay, yeah, that's it, this relationship is not for me. Because a lot of times there are going to be things happen in a relationship where you may have a disagreement with your partner. You're not always going to be on the same page, and there's going to be things to happen, but it's about how you make it through those conflicts that's going to determine if that's somebody that you should stay with or not. If that person is not willing to be vulnerable, to set aside their pride and their ego, to actually have a intellectual and emotional conversation to work through the problems and see the issues as it's you and that person against the issue, opposed to you guys being against each other, then it's not going to work. A lot of people do not know how to overcome conflict within their own lives. So when they get in a relationship, they definitely don't know how to overcome conflict within a connection when it comes to dealing with somebody else. So just pay attention to the way that you and your partner handle things. If you notice that you speak about something that you don't like and you tell your partner about it and they're like, okay, and then you see the changes within their actions, then that is a healthy relationship, because there's going to be things that your partner's going to do that's going to upset you, but it's about how they handle that. If you're in a karmic relationship, 9 times out of 10, you'll tell your partner about something that you don't like and they'll act like they hear you. They'll change for maybe a couple days, but then it goes back to normal and they're still back to the same toxic habits. So just be very aware of that and make sure that you are paying attention to the other person's actions as well as yours, because there's a chance that you can also be karmic within the situation. So you have to have a lot of self-awareness to make sure that you are not contributing to the negativity within the relationship. But that is it, you guys. I just wanted to share this quick video with you, and I hope that you enjoyed, that you found it useful. If you did, give this video a thumbs up, share with somebody that you feel it may benefit, and I will see you guys in my next video. Peace and much love. If you become a